Okay, so this is Wheel software. So you can go download, then so it will show this window. Then we have to go for the product downloads. Okay, so this is product downloads. Then it will ask again which product downloads it. So we are going to develop the tools using 8051 devices. Okay, so develop tools for all 8051 devices, that is C51 we are going to use. Okay, so is it visible? Is it visible screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so C51 you have to download. Okay, see this is a free software, so you can. So everything I have filled. So this will ask some information about you. Okay, so this everything I have filled. Here, which device are you going to use? It will be AT89C51. Okay, because we are going to deal with uh, 8051. Okay, so 8051. So this is what you have to know. Okay, so if you submit, then it will automatically go to select your country. So I already downloaded. Okay. Okay, so this .exe file will come here. Okay, so you have to click this one. So it will start downloading. Okay, so already I have downloaded. I'll show you. Okay, once it is downloaded, you can just run that file. So your Keel software will open. Okay, I'll show you the window directly if it is okay for you. You will be able to install this, or is there any problem in installing? Will you be able to install?
Yes,
Okay, see this is, yes, this is the file
yes, ma'am.
which will see it was already done. Okay, so this was the file. So you can install this one. So it need admin permission. So I have already installed this one, so I'll show you how it will come. Okay, so this desktop, you can see this is Keel Microvision. Okay, so it is the version 5. So if I just open this file, it has been created a shortcut on the desktop. Okay, so that Keel software will open. Okay, now you can see here, this one is a window what we will be seeing when we open the skill software. Okay, so this is the window where we are going to do the programming. This will show you the projects and their source group where we are going to add our programs to the source group. Okay, so this build output will show you the errors and the warnings when we are debugging your programming. Okay, or program. Okay, so we'll start with the first. Now the first thing is that you have to go to the project, you have to close all the projects. Okay, so your everything will become blank, because still now we are going to we are going to develop our new project now. Okay, got it. Next, you can go project, new, Microvision project. Okay, so it will ask where you are going to do. So for each and every project, or for each and every experiment, you have to do your own folder. Okay, or you can make a own new folder for this. Okay, so I'll make this as a program 1. Okay, so this is my first program, or we can call it as a project, what I'm going to do. Okay, so after doing that, it will ask select device for target 1. So for this, you have to select your 89. So there are different microcontrollers are there. So specific, you can search for your application. So you can go for 889C51. Okay, so see here, all the description will come here. Based fully static 24 megahertz, then 32 input output lines. How many counters are there? How many interrupts are there? So what is your RAM memory, ROM memory? So according to your specification, you can select your microcontroller. Okay, so I have selected 89C51. Okay, so if you just make it as OK, it will ask this copy startup A51 to project folder and add files to the project. Okay, now see here, there are two options, either you can make yes or no. Okay, so when you are going to make it as yes or when you are going to make it as a no. Okay, so when you are going to do your programming in C, then we have to make it as yes. But if you are working with assembly level language program, then you can say this as no. Okay, so I'm going to show you the program, just a small program which I'm going to do it in the assembly level language. Okay, so I'm going to call it as no. Okay, then you can see that program 1 has come here. Okay, got it. Next, still we have not opened the new file where I can write the programs. Okay, so what you can do, so you can go file new. Okay, so this will open here. Okay, so before that, one more thing is there, you have to do uh, or I'll just write a small program here. Okay, so uh, till now we have not completed any instruction set. Okay, so that's why I have not completed FM, or I have not taken FMA practical. That's why I have been just preponing or postponing your practicals due to because of we have not completed any of the instruction set. Okay, so but today I'll just show you only 3-line program. Okay, in that we are going to store a value in accumulator. Okay, so from the register, or we are going to store the value of any hex number in any register. Okay, so that 3-line program I will show you. Okay, so first of all I'll assign the memory location. Okay, so this is org 000h. Okay, so this is from where I'm going to start my programming. Okay, so this is the memory location what I have assigned. The second one is move r1, okay, hash. So this instruction set is not completed for you, so will not be able to understand what it says, that this 20 hex is a number which has to be stored in r1. Okay, hash is nothing but the immediate number. R1 is the registers, because we know that in microcontroller we are having the different registers. While studying the architecture also, I told you there are different registers. A register is there, B register is there. Other than A and B register, there are still more registers which we are going to study afterwards. Okay, so this R1 is also one of the registers. So what it is saying, uh, just move the value 20h in register R1. Okay, so this is the end of the program. Okay, so we have to end the program. So this is a 3-line command program. What we are going to do, we have assigned the started with the memory address, and in our register R1 we are going to store the value as 20h. Okay, so if you observe the programming, the coloring of the programming has not been changed. Okay, so whenever our program we are going to execute this, the color code of the program will change. Okay, so how it is going to change, that I will show you. Okay, so after doing this, you have to go to the project, option for target 1. Okay, then target. So in this there is a crystal frequency. Okay, so while studying, I have told you to give the clock signal. Okay, we need a crystal oscillator. Okay, so for 89, if you do just remember the 89C51 silent features, we have seen that it has a 12 megahertz crystal oscillator frequency. Okay, but here, while you are doing the simulation, the crystal frequency does not matter anything. Okay, but if you are actually implementing any of the circuit, your crystal oscillator frequency has to be considered. Okay, now suppose the silent features what we have learned in 8051, in that we have learned that our crystal frequency is 12 megahertz. Okay, so practically we are going to will have the value as 0592. Okay, so this is the frequency of the crystal oscillator what we are going to consider. Okay, and while practically implementing this, you have to consider this frequency. It is very important. You have to set this frequency first of all, then only you have to move towards the um, uh, uploading of 805 this program in or burning of this program in 8051. Okay, so next one is your output. Okay, now what I am doing, I am this all instruction sets are assembly language instruction set. You can do even your programming in C language also. Okay, so that also we are going to learn. Okay, so whenever you are going to burn this program in 8051, you need the hex file. You will not either it should be a assembly level language program, or it should be a we cannot directly implement your C program in, or we cannot load your C program in 8051. Okay, so it needs a hex file. Okay, so this hex file can be generated with the help of this Keel software. Okay, now if you want the hex files, what you have to do, you have to just tick this one, create hex file. Okay, so the object or the folder where we are going to store this program, it will have one object folder. Okay, so see here, object folder. In that object folder you will have all this information. Okay, it will have the .c file, it will have the .hex file, even it will have the assembly language, means the programming language in which you are going to do that. So if you want the hex file, you have to just tick this one. Okay, got it. Next, the third important thing is this debug one. Okay, now if you are doing the simulator, or whether you are going to use with the hardware. Okay, so see here, using the simulator is nothing but we are going to do the programming in Keel software, and the hex file generated in the Keel software, that we are going to upload it in the 8051 trainer. Okay, so that we need the hex file to just burn it in 8051. But whereas in the simulator also we need the hex file, but there instead of the physical 8051 trainer 51 kit, we are having the simulator based 8051. Okay, so for this we can go for the Proteus software. Okay, this Proteus software is having all the physical elements what we are going to use it in 8051. Okay, actually it is also having 8051 trainer, ADC is there, then induction motor is also there. Okay, so virtually you can connect all these things, and then you can see the output of your system virtually. Okay, and then you can go for the implementation with the physical 8051. Okay, but now here if you are going it for the simulator, that means if you are going it for the simulator, you have to use the simulator. Otherwise, if you are going for actually 8051 trainer, then you have to use this one. Then you have to take a Keel monitor 51 driver. Okay, to upload all this program in 8051. Okay, but now we are not doing anything, so I'll just go for the use simulator. Then you have to just untick this one if you are doing it in the assembly language program. If you are doing it in the C programming, you have to run to main. Okay, got it. So everything, all other parameters, I'm going to keep it as it is. So I'll make this as a okay. Okay, so got it up to this much. Okay, then I'll save this file. So I'll just give the names here. The program was my folder. In that I have done all these programs. Okay, so this is ASM file, and now I'll create one more ASM file which we are doing the program. Okay, so I'll just don't write any keywords. You can write any other name for the file. Okay, so I'll write it SAC1. Okay, so this is my name for the file, program file, what I am going to whatever the programming I have done. Okay, now see here, this will have save as type. Okay, so this you have to decide what now I have done the programming in the assembly level language, so I'll save this program as .asm. If you have done the programming in the C language, then you have to give the extension as .c. Unless and until you don't give this file type, it will take as a default and not be able to recollect that file, because it will have its own all types of extensions. Okay, so you have to specify whether it is a .c file or whether it is a .assembly language file. Okay, so as I have done the programming in assembly level language, so I'll make it as a .asm. Okay, so I'll make it as a save. See here, the programming color code has been changed now. Got it? Okay, so next is I have written the program. Now I have to check whether there are any errors or not. Because whenever you have done the C programming, you might have compiled the program, correct? To check whether there are any errors or not. Okay. So before that, you have to this program file. Okay, so that SSC1 has to be included in the target file. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, you have to just click this one plus. Okay, it will generate the source code, and after generating the source group, you have to right click this one. Okay, after right clicking, you have to add the existing files to the group source group one. Okay, so it will ask from where you have to take the program. Okay, so unless and until you don't specify the file type, it will not show any files. Okay, so in which file type I have saved the program, it is .asm. So I will search this .asm. So all the files I'll get. Okay, wherever I have saved it as .asm, all the files I'll get. But which is my file name? That is SSC1. So I'll select this one, SSC1. Then I'll call it as a add. So see, this window will not automatically close. Okay, so you have to, after adding, you have to close this one. So if you see this one, the source group has again become as plus. If I click this one, you will get the file name as SSC1. So this SSC1 has been added to source group, and the source group is in target, and this whole folder is there in the program one project. Okay, so this is one project. Okay, got it? Then after that, what you have to do, you have to just first of all translate this project, okay, to the active file. Okay, so I'll make this as a translate. Okay, so it is showing one error and zero warnings. Okay, then what is the error? Still we have not gone for any of the syntaxes. Okay, so you'll not be able to find out the error, but I have made a purposeful error so that you will understand. So there should be a comma here. Okay, so your errors are one. Now whenever I again compile this one, I'll get as zero errors. Okay, so I'll translate again. See here, zero errors and zero warning. Then I will go and build this program, or I'll just build in the target file. Okay, so I'll build this one. Okay, so it will show that there are no errors, and then we can go for the debugging of the program. Okay, so these three processes you have been completing. Then now we have to debug, and then we have to check for the results, that whether this R1 register is having the value as 20 or no. Okay, so how we can do this one? So you can either go to this debug section, or you can just start it from here, start and stop debug section. Okay, so debug, start. Okay, so it will ask evolution mode. Now see, this is a free version, so you'll be having some size limit for this one. So don't bother about this, just make it as okay. See here, so the program has started running. Okay, so you can check the program line line wise also. Otherwise you can just compile the whole program, but you'll not be able to check for the minute details. Okay, so what memory location I have given, it is started from 00. So this is nothing but 000. Okay, so this is the default memory location, what it will take from C000. Okay, now if you observe this one, these are the registers. So what I told, all the data will be stored in the registers. Okay, so you are having the values are R0 to R7. These are the different registers. Now what I told, this 20H value has to be stored in register R1. So where is your register R1? This is your register R1. What is the value here? 0. Okay, so still it has not loaded the value as R1. So for this, what we have to do, so this arrow mark indicates that which instruction is going to be executed now. Okay, so when to execute this instruction, I'll go, you can either run as a whole code, otherwise you can just go it by single line. Okay, so I'll show you a single line. So just observe that your R1, after execution of this instruction cycle, the value of R1 will change. Okay, so I'll execute this line. Got it? That means the register R1 is having the value as 20, and you can check the result that R1 has been changed to 20. Got it?
Yes.